Hi, this is my tarot part 2 video. Um, it is daytime and I'm near the windows, but it's getting ready to rain yet again for like the 100th time in this week. So, skies are darkening. But I wanted to do this video to go a little bit more in depth with just the system of tarot, um, and basically just share what I've learned in my workings with the cards. Um, Tarot decks normally consist of 22 major cards and then 14 minor cards broken into 14 cards in each suit. So there's 4 suits. In total, you get 72 cards normally. Um, the suits are cups, pentacles, wands, and swords. Um, in each suit, you have court cards. Now, this is the start of where a lot of decks differentiate between one another. Most decks you come across do I call it the Rider-Waite system. It's probably not correct. It's probably far more ancient than that, but I don't really have any good history books on tarot. Probably going to be looking into those soon so I can learn more. But basically, what you get a queen card, king, knight, and a page. The court cards are gender imbalance. You get 3 male cards and a female card. When you start reading, you learn these cards can represent characteristics of people, and the page card sort of serves as an androgynous unisex card. It means either young male or female. Um, when I was a teenager, for the longest time, whenever I drew a card to represent myself, I was always represented by the Page of Wands. So, it's a unisex card. Um, Generally, it's accepted the king and queen represent more mature adults. Normally I think of them as being over 30, but if a person has an old soul, it's quite possible they'll pop up as one of these cards. And then your younger cards are your knights and pages. Now, most of my decks, they follow that court system. You do run into certain decks though that have other representation. Like, this is my fairy Wicca tarot deck, and my Celtic is horrible, but I'm going to try to pronounce it. You have the Banron, the Radier, the Ardri, and the Anier. Please do not hate me for my horrible pronunciation. Like I said, my Celtic's terrible. And just another example with my Pagan Tarot deck, you have the Elemental, which this is wands or air, and it's a salamander. You have the Elder, that's swords. You have the Novice, which is like an initiate. And I thought I drew the other one. Just give me a second. Sorry. You get the Novice card, and then you get the Initiate. Okay. Sorry, I thought I had myself prepared there. And these cards, I don't know exactly how they line up with the court cards, but basically, these are gender balanced. You get 2 male, 2 female for most suits. The elementals, of course, are non-gender specific. So, moving on. When reading your cards, there's a couple things you should do, or you can do, to make your layouts a bit easier and to ground yourself for your readings. One is to light incense. Some good ones are sage, pine, I've heard is really good, rosemary. I have a preference towards nagsham and dragon's blood. I also like frankincense, but those aren't specific like for tarot. I just like them for grounding in general, and I found they work well when reading tarot cards. The second thing is candles. Light blue and white are really good colors to have if you want to do a candle with your reading. And last is stones. I'm keeping my Rider Wyatt deck wrapped with a piece of amethyst, but you can also use sodalite, which is, it has properties for mental clarity. Obsidian, which is for divination, and clear quartz always works well. Another one that works is hermite. I don't have any loose stones, but what I have jewelry. Here is my bracelet. I not only use this for tarot, but I use this for grounding and divination. And I also have an anklet that I made. I make my own jewelry, so you can find these beads at most any craft store. I believe I happen to get some of these at Walmart and some of these at Michael's. So look around your local craft store, look in the gem section. Generally you'll find these for about $5, and then they have like magnetic properties, so you can see like that is drawn together, and this one, it always stays like that when it's not on my wrist. But you'll find them generally grouped together with the other gemstones, and then you can work them with like elastic, silver wire, regular linen string, whatever you have, into a bracelet. Now, shuffling your cards, that is going to be personal preference. The most common ways I've seen are to take your cards and just do like an overhand shuffle like that. You can also take these and just start sorting into like number piles. Generally, I like to work with things in 3. That's a number that really appeals to me. I have other numbers, but they're generally higher than 3, and it seems sort of neurotic to go like sorting into piles of 7 or 13. But you can like just shuffle them and into like 3 piles. Another option, some people just like to take these and just spread them out and then choose a card that way. But find a system that works for you. Personally, I don't like to bend my cards, but I've seen some people even do the bend and then flip. So choose what works for you. Once you shuffle, generally you'll divide into 2 stacks, and then you'll pick a stack. I go with which one I'm getting an energy read off of using my left hand. It took me years to get a feeling for that. So you may want to try working with that. Generally, if you can connect with your own personal like psychic gifts, or if you have psychic gift, like if you're an empath, certainly go ahead and try it. You'll find it's a great way to start like feeling energy and sensing it. Another option though is a pendulum. This is my pendulum. I made it myself. It is a gigantic quilting needle strung on yellow string. It is the simplest pendulum you will find in the world, but it works. And it only cost me probably like $1 to make. So if you have like a crystal pendulum, whatever you want to work with, that's another way to choose. Just know which swing means yes, which swing means no, and then hover it over each pile of the cards and pick your cards that way. I do want to go into some of the symbolism on the cards, but I'm running near 10 minutes, so I'm going to cut this video. This is now going to be a part 3. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.